Good afternoon. It's Paul Williams calling. I've gone through Paul Williams the brand, and in my journey through that Paul Williams brand, I've mentioned my relationship that I've had with the little man, and a lot of people have asked me to speak a little bit more about the little man. A lot of people, surprising, a lot of people don't know who the little man is. Now, maybe what I'm saying to those people is that maybe they do know who the little man is, but they just call him by another name. That could be the situation. Could have an expletive in front of the name. But believe me, if you've done anything in sport or anything in life, you will have a little man. He is there, and he is never defeated. But I think I'll tell you a few things today in this video that can help you control him. And that's all you can ever hope to do, is to have him under control. And if you can do that, it becomes a lot more exciting and a lot more rewarding to do training and all that sort of stuff. So let's get into it. I mean, I first probably discovered the little man when I was probably playing my sport back in my early 20s maybe, or even probably before that, probably around 17 or 18. And it was funny, it's I could do 10 or 12 or 15 fantastic things, well, which I thought was fantastic, out on the football field. And I'd do one thing, like I wouldn't go hard enough for a ball, or, I'd hesitate somewhere, or I'd drop an easy mark, or I'd bugger up an easy kick, or I'd miss an easy goal, and it'd startle me. You were no good at this, you can't play this, you can't do this. He would get into me, and he would really affect my confidence going forward. And I would have to try and do something to do that, to actually be able to get him to shut up, to put him back in his place, to quieten him down. Could never stop him. He was always there. Because if I went and did 10 or 12 really good things in a row again, and did one bad thing again, there he was again. In my head, and you would always have to try and control him, try and to shut him up, because he would be on you straight away. What do you think? You can't do this. You're not good enough to be able to do this. Why don't you just stop? And then, so I battled with him through my whole sporting life, I suppose, through my whole career, and a lot of times I had him under control. I didn't really have a what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't really have a system to be able to beat him. And I didn't have a system to be able to quieten him down. I just used to do it with my actions. But when I got a little bit older, I suppose when the footy finished, there was, I thought that the little man would go away, but he was still there with anything I did at work, anything I did, on a personal note. No, if I went out to stretch, he would always be there telling me that I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. So much to say that that when I stopped playing football, I used to do this run at home in my late 20s, from my late 20s to virtually my early 40s. I would have done this run 1,000 times. I used to do 4 or 5 times a week. It was about 4Ks. That's about as far as I could ever run back in those days. And I would do it twice a week and twice on the weekend. It'd only take me 20 minutes or so. But where we were situated at home, it had this long finish of about 1 kilometre up this fairly steep hill. It's not a Napa Road type steep hill, but it was quite a challenging climb. I'm trying to think of something on the Gold Coast that would be something similar to this hill, but nothing really comes to mind in thinking of it. It'd be probably like it would be probably like the run that you run up to the Burleigh lookout there at the car park. It would be something like that would go on for about 1 kilometre. And every night he would start on me. If I was tired, or it was hot, or it was wet, or whatever, I would get to the start of that hill. I'd be running on my own, and he would say, "Just walk tonight. Just walk up this hill. You know, I mean, no one's going to know. Look, you've done a fantastic job over the last, you know, and then he'd prey on me. You've done a fantastic job over the last couple of months and been able to get up this hill every night. Why don't you just walk up tonight? Who's going to know? It's just going to be you and me. No one's going to know that you've walked up this hill. And I would just take great pleasure in getting to the top and turning the corner and say, yeah, I beat you again. So then it become a little bit of a game, you know, and that's the way. And I spoke before about controlling it. Then I controlled it. So I felt that he was trying to undermine everything I was doing. So I was not going to let him win. My pig-headedness, my determination, if you like. I mean, I like to say pig-head. I mean, my wife calls me pig-head and thinks that she insults me. I take it as a compliment. You know, my pig-headedness was that, you know, that I wasn't going to let him win. There's no way I was going to let him beat me. I was not going to give in. I was not going to let him. I was not going to walk or whatever. So that was I probably discovered that in my mid 30s or probably early 40s, that whatever happened, when he was ever talking to me, he was never ever going to beat me. I was always going to win. Now, did that make him any less stronger? No, he was still there that next day. He was still out there trying. He was trying to have a win. But I was just so determined that I wouldn't let, you know, and I got to the stage where it got, I'm not so much dangerous, but, you know, it doesn't matter how tired I was doing anything leading up to this training in the Ironman, that sort of stuff. If I'd made a decision that I was going to do something, if I'd said to it, right, I've got a 4-hour ride to do, there's no way I'm doing 3 hours 30. There's no way I'm going to let him talk me out of doing, you know, some of the ride. I am going to do it, and I'm going to turn around and say, yeah, there it is. So it became a game. So I liken it as a game. It's me against him, and I am not going to let him win. He's still there every day, every swim day, every time the alarm goes off in the morning. He says to me, oh, you know, you've had a hard couple of days. You know, why don't you just today? Sorry about that. It just fell over there. Why don't you today just have a sleep in? And why don't you just have a sleep in? You know, I mean, who's going to know? I mean, it's only one day. It's just you and me. You know, and I would think to myself, you know what? He's probably right. You know, I am tired, or I am sore, or I can miss one. You know, I haven't missed a session. And I would say, right, I'm going to stay. And then I would try to go back to sleep, and I would be lying in bed and I'm thinking, you know what, if you don't get up, you're not going back to sleep. You're just going to lie there, and you're going to be so dirty to the fact that you let him win that you're not going to be able to get to sleep. So that's fantastic to be able to roll over, put those feet on the floor and get up and say, there you go, get back in your box. You know, so that's my little man, and my little man is still talking to me, and come Sunday at the Ironman, he'll still be there. He'll still be talking to me. He'll still be saying to me, you know, what makes you think that you're going to be able to do this, even though you've done the training, that sort of stuff. So I will be in a battle with him all the way for 12, 13 hours, however long it takes, to be able to put him in his box again, to be able to just quieten him down for saying, and say that. And to me, it's just like having a little win. I've had a win against him, and that feels so much better, you know, to be able to just say within your own personality, to be able to say, you know, I've beat you again, you know. So, and that's got, and you know what? And that's coming from me. That's coming from inside me. That's what I'm saying. So, that's got nothing to do with what all the naysayers and what all your so-called supporters are saying about what you're actually doing. This is just a battle that I have, you know, with myself, and it just feels great to be able to knock that off. So if I can say anything to anybody that's watching this video and wants to try and do something, you know, in a sporting career or any sort of career, is that when you make a decision, when you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. You've got to do it. There's no getting out of. There's no, I was too this, what? Too tired, too sore, too lazy, too whatever. Don't ever say that. You know, just get up and do it. And believe me, you will feel a lot better at the end. You know, my mother used to say to me all the time, you know, when I was sick, you know, we had a family that both parents worked, so there was no chance of me staying home from school. I had to go because there was no one home to look after me. So I'd be in grade 2 or grade 3 and I'd be in bed, and you know, maybe sometimes I would be sick. I wouldn't feel like going to work, school. I said, I just want to stay home, please, Mum, let me stay home. And she'd say those magical words. She goes, you know what, you'll feel better when you get there. And you know what, I did. I got up, I got dressed, then I was committed to go. So it was amazing how much more, how better I felt. So I hope that's been a little bit of something that you've liked in the area of being able to you know, conquer your demons, if you like, or be able to you know, do something you know, to be able to help you get some inertia behind yourself. But if I can say anything to you, it's just when you make a decision, when you say you're going to do something, do it. Because this guy here, he will be saying to you, no, don't, no, that's too hard. Don't do that. No, you'll be too tired, or you'll get injured, or you know, you won't have enough sleep. And he'll try and get you to take the easy way out. But if you take the hard road, if you do it, you'll feel so much better at the end. Okay, that's it. Some more postings as we get closer to the Ironman over the weekend. But for now, Paul Williams out.